game as well, as match 5 is getting underway. The players are loaded up. We appreciate you hanging around here in chat. Let us know what you think about today. Go ahead and spam who you think will win in either chat, whether it's YouTube, whether it's Twitch. Hey, maybe you're interacting with us on Twitter. Go ahead and let us know who you think is taking the day. Right now, Vicky, it's time to get your thoughts as well as we head into match 5. Who do you think's taking it?
I'm going to have to say it's got to be Luminosity. I feel like Luminosity is going to stay consistent, and I feel like they've been having a pretty nice performance in being in that top 5 spot in themselves. By the way, Rainy, they're wind chimes. They're rather not wind chimes.
Wind chimes.
I was gonna say wind chimes originally because they're flowing in the wind and I'm just like fluttering the hands. You know what I mean? But like they're part of the band.
They're those things you play with the stick, right? Basically, they look like wind chimes. I forget if they're actually called that. And you just run the silver stick across them back and forth to create that little melody. Hey, you're a part of the band. You're making the music. Somebody said you don't want a mad tambourine player. No one likes that. So there's a job. Everyone's got to do it. Sometimes you're on display. These teams, though, on display. It's definitely been the story of Liquid, of 100 Thieves, of LG. Even CLG in some ways. Complexity having some consistent performances, and Space Station as well. I think really after winning that last game, have to put them in the favorites alongside Optic Gaming. But as you can already see here, a southeastern zone, Vicky, and so that is setting up in Lava City right near where Optic Gaming are already sitting pretty.
And this is going to be a tricky circle. We've seen the circle end up to the southeast side of Lava Siphon, sometimes pulling towards the bridge between Lava Siphon and Big Mod. So like you said, this is definitely going to favor the likes of Optic Gaming. I'm looking at Dark Zero that usually lands in Lava Siphon. I'm wondering if there's a beacon in that middle building of Lava Siphon. But something that Dark Zero has been doing to actually get ahead of the curve is these quick rotates. They immediately get the loot that they need. They get the beacon off of Rip, and then they're going to immediately rotate. So they're probably already going to situate themselves on the outskirts of Lava Siphon to the south, so that way they can predict where that final circle is going to be.
In many ways, Dark Zero is a team that can always beat you in a 3v3 if, let Sharky and Jin Burton at Zero, who unequivocally is the best IGL in Apex Legends. You cannot discount the fact that when it's time to do it at LAN, he gets it done, whether he's got Jin Burton in his full squad or a sub. Either way, this is something that is not going to be disputed until another LAN happens, but it hasn't had the most exciting performance today. Only 17 points on the day, puts him in the back half of the lobby. Today might be, or this game might be, truly a changing point for them. They do have 2 more as NRG. What to say about them, Vicky? The pickup of Gildersons just hasn't been their day so far. Only 8 points. Haven't won a lot of 3v3s. Haven't made it to a lot of final 8s. Maybe this is the sign of something to change. We know they can do it. It's just a matter of when they stopping themselves.
Yeah, the issue with NRG is that they've been getting double-digit placements, 17th, 13th, 13th, little to no KP, so they haven't really been able to build up their confidence. As we take a look at the guard, they got a crack. They're going to be able to just back away from that fight, though, because they know that they're making a lot of noise while other squads are in the middle of rotating, leaving Lava Siphon. RKN, though, in a lot of trouble. Ooh. He leaves with literally 1 health. He's going to be able to take that W for right now. Hopefully, the rest of the squads can help cover him, but it is NRG that we were just talking about before, and this is the squad that is contesting him on the high ground.
Maybe a little bit more aggressiveness coming out from Sweet, who in my opinion, I think is outside of Hal and outside of maybe Kashira, the way Kashira's playing right now. And of course, we already mentioned Zero. That's the top frag, some of the best in the world. But you got to get those results. Otherwise, the conversation continues and you give people the chance to have something to say about you. Right now, Dark Zero getting a chance to win a 3v3. Watson Fences making it tough for Jin Burton to peek his head in and out, but they've got the defense there and the capability to hold. Sharky looking for an arc star, and it's going to bounce around that corner. It's going to do tons of damage, but again, they got to get through the fences first, and that's just going to give them some time. Optic Gaming, though, as we pass over to them, Skittle Cakes is down and out. We've got to make sure Nox and Duplex can hold it here, but it looks like they're getting aggressed on quite heavily. As Protectful up in your screen actually goes down to Sharky from that earlier Dark Zero fight. And Sharky, it seems like, will take down Oxygen Esports as well. So a lot of action happening early game in Game 5.
Yeah, Oxygen was sharing that building with Dark Zero, who Dark Zero did come out on top after that fight. Noct can't pull off the shield bat. Unfortunately, that seer attack is going to stop him short. He's just going to disengage right now. I love how Optic Gaming's playing extremely shoulder to shoulder, just so that way they can help get the reset. Rack Attack with the Heartbeat Sensor is just going to be able to peek to see which of these squads are going to try to overextend. You can see the Mad Maggie as well, the tactical coming in. Playing the Mad Maggie out here, though, is going to be interesting. We don't really get to see that very often, especially in these lobbies.
Yeah, and it tends to be maybe one of those things that's a lot riskier unless you are committed. And we have several teams that are, committed. Aurora Gaming's committed to playing off meta legends. They'll run a Mad Maggie. They've done it even last season and even at playoffs and at LAN. We saw today, too, CLG committed to running the Catalyst. Will this be maybe the catalyst for their improvement in kind of their recognition across the board in North America? Because they've been a team that's been here. They've been in competitive Apex for a minute, but have not reached the upper echelons of respect, I think, in terms of some of the names that you consider favorites to win lands, to win big events. Will that change? I think this is always a good way to do it, Vicky. You kind of put yourself on the map and stake a claim, and sometimes it works out, and it really, really works out, and you kind of shift the way people think about the game. So chances across the board for all that. Not sure if the Maggie's going to take, but I sure would love to see more Catalyst.
Yeah, so something to change things up a bit. Even if it's not the Catalyst that they're bringing out to this game, it is going to be that Mad Maggie that Mamba's on. CLG are holding that choke point, that exit out of Big Mod into Geyser. You can see Optic Gaming holding onto the high ground of Big Mod. This is where Optic Gaming usually lands, and we saw already the chaos go down in Lava City between Dark Zero and Oxygen. Look how many teams are already in this next circle here, too. Very highly contested. Looking at Lava Siphon, looks like there's going to be that fight going on between NRG and Luminosity, as we were highlighting NRG not having the best day that they really wanted to aim for, especially changing up their team comp. It is something to expect when it comes to bringing something different to the table, but it's extremely risky if they want to secure their own spot for LAN.
The guard in the mix down below as well, and taking a look at the map will always bounce back in between. That is such an integral part of how you play Apex Legends. Right now we saw some early skirmishing, but it seems to have stopped with 19 squads still remaining. Round one about to close. Changes to the circle in Apex. Started that close a lot earlier in Season 14, and it's continued in Season 15 with some tweaks to how much damage it does. But the name of the game is just, you see where the circle's going to be, and you got to move a little bit faster if it's farther away from you, or take some storm damage. That's where the replicators come into handy for these players, and you'll see them sometimes just commit to staying in the zone a little bit longer. Teams like Team Liquid, Sentinels as well, first attempt, even G2 right now, in a possibility of that occurring. But the zone's still yet to move here in round two. They got the time to kind of settle it out, Vicky. And Luminosity, dodging a couple sniper shots. Jaguar is trying to get back inside of the safety of his team.
Yeah, Luminosity knows that NRG are right underneath them. I love Guild's priorities with that black market. It's all about getting that RE45. It's okay if you still have to rock the white Evo shield. It's fine. You can put down the blue Evo shields. Don't pick it up from the black market. It's all about that RE45. It's about making a statement with those disruptor rounds.
Luminosity Gaming on 37 points on the day. One of the favorites, I think, to take it. Vicky, you had them taking the win, and I certainly wouldn't disagree with you. I feel like Optic Gaming have put themselves in a good enough position, though, to maybe make a statement today in North America. It tends to be that the conversation just leans towards some of these bigger org names. And, when TSM and when Optic are in the mix, you tend to talk about those two going head-to-head. You tend to put them in conversation with NRG, some competition. But it's nice to see this lobby here the way it is, because I feel like we're getting a real showcase of the personality of these teams isolated from any of that rivalry, right? They're just really playing, I think, and everyone is hustling for points. They know this is a day 5 that will impact quite a lot of changes here. And Sentinels can't say enough about their performance today. Sitting 6th here, a win would do wonders for them and setting them up for a game 6 that could possibly make them take first place in this tournament.
Especially when we talk about teams like MPS, the teams that aren't those big names that you would expect to stay consistent. The Optic Gaming, we haven't talked about them much before today because they've been rather quiet, like we highlighted in the pre-show. So to see them have a great standout performance today is nice, because is this the start to Optic Gaming figuring out what they could do better instead of playing the edge of the circle that hasn't been working out for them, since we've seen them play more position than anything when Valkyrie was first starting to become a very powerful legend legend to have on your team composition. 100 Thieves being another one of those squads to first utilize the Watson and Newcastle, and they're using it in such a unique way, which it works and plays into their own playstyle. Very passive. They're playing for positioning. You can see them gaining a lot more of those Evo Shield charges just based off of their weapon loadout with the longbow in Scurry's hands.
One of the things I think is so important about this team is they've committed to this Newcastle Watson Valkyrie lineup before anyone else. And you just flash back to LAN and you see, yes, first place, it screams a lot. Dark Zero back-to-back. Second place, well, that's the Furia Maniac run where they basically got more KP than, you know, anybody combined and ended up taking second place, $300,000 richer after all of that. But sitting in fifth place, a cool 100 grand, that was 100 Thieves. And they made the kind of statement of this is going to be the new meta. Since then, Newcastle has only gotten stronger. They've only committed to that more, and it has paid dividends for them. Can they show the lobby yet again that they might be sleeping on this meta, sitting in third place? I certainly believe that this game could be the changing point for them here. As Liquid do a skyward dive underneath the bridge, setting up for a little bit of late game. Right there. For a little bit of mid game here, Vicky.
Yeah, guys gotta slip and slide a little bit to avoid some of these stray shots from other squads that wanted to pinpoint your spot after that skyward dive. Sentinels now, who've been having a great standoff performance, sitting overall in fifth place. And these game number 5s are always my favorite because this really is what determines how these squads should be playing, whether they should be playing extra aggressive. You can see with the Zero ult on the outskirts of this fence line that it's not going to get contested. It's not going to get broken by this other team inside. See the gravity, the black hole rather, coming in and finally fully sending it out to Onmu, who was left by himself on the first floor. What capitalization from Sentinels.
It's like when the scout doesn't come back, you know there's an army a little too close for comfort, and that's what Sentinels have just given 100 Thieves an indication of, and it's not going to matter because they've got to go in. They're all out. Sentinels, are you kidding me? The number 4 squad now takes down number 3. Anyone standing in their way seems like they have a chance to get it, and Sentinels dishing it all out whenever they find themselves fit. What a play, and now what momentum Sentinels have heading into the next part of this game.
100 Thieves got deleted. Onmu was not ready for that. He heard the squad from outside and he was like, wait a minute, there's definitely another team nearby here. He was not expecting Sentinels to just charge in and burst down, not just his health, but through those open doors. Now Sentinels are going to be able to take up this building, get some extra loot. You can see the ultimate accelerants going down as well because the black hole was used up earlier on for that fight, so that way they can split some of the attention to engage onto 100 Thieves cleanly.
Enemy spotted.
Sentinels in their new territory here, feeling good, just moved in. Using that passive Heartseeker. But they already know exactly where the team is, standing in front. It's been a great overall performance from them. NRG and the choke point down below, if you're keeping an eye on that. First attempt, too, up on the northern side. Basically, the two northernmost and southernmost teams. Not full rotations yet, though, from teams like LG and Sentinels. You're noticing that they're fighting a little bit outside and trying to kind of, you know, control that zone, show presence as the movement is here. CLG switched off of the Catalyst, but look at this, Vicky. They've brought in the Maggie and they've brought in the Loba. So really a lineup I'm not sure we've seen before here. This is two legends that have been off picks for more of a traditional squad, but maybe not together here with just the Valkyrie.
Try something different here. And when you highlight the squads that are playing on the outskirts of the circle right now, I'm looking at Slept on G2, first attempt who are trying to circle keep some of these teams like Sentinels, and other squads that are just trying to take a longer rotation to the south of Lava Siphon, because with CLG holding this choke point closer to Geyser, it's going to be difficult to make much noise and then safely get deeper into the circle with little to no cover after you exit out of that choke point.
Yeah, they have a really good angle here, and obviously they've got the safety of the truck, so it's going to be tough. CLG, we know they like to get their fight on. I think staring right next to them is FaZe on the other side of Big Mod, and first attempt as well from that choke. So 3 teams posturing here. Team Liquid still on the outside. First attempt, the team that maybe sees not a lot of opportunities, but that Sentinel's in the air above them. The G7 Scout whiffs for an Amigo, formerly of Luminosity Gaming, now found a team of his own, and as we speak of them, here they are, 5th place squad trying to make it through the choke. They'll be okay here, Vicky, as they actually don't have anyone to their back, but making it out is going to be the issue because they're going to run into Team Smiley, Dark Zero, MPS, and Space Station outside of that choke, and that's just if they're lucky.
Yeah, I don't know how they're going to be able to get out of this without getting shot at. Maybe capitalizing off of a fight happening inside that building where Dark Zero, Team Smiley, Space Station, FPS are all distracted, so they're not looking down the open mouth of that tunnel. I can see why Luminosity wanted to rotate in that direction. Looking at their team comp, they're playing close quarters, so it would allow the Caustic to elevate their own gameplay with the Caustic barrels, but now they're stuck inside of that cave for this next circle. So we're going to have to see what Luminosity plan to do if they could get out of the line of sight of the squad that's holding onto the rooftop over by Lava City. We take a look at Sentinel still putting in some pressure. G2 on the outskirts design still rocking the blue Evo shield.
You want to step it up to purple at this point in the game. About to be round 5. Designful knows it. Doesn't have great weapons. No, I take that back. The wingman will certainly do the job there. Might not be as good as a Bocek bow or a G7 scalp, but it'll certainly be able to poke from distance safely. As NRG find themselves the ones poking back at G2, and maybe it's a headshot or two that is just told Designful this fight isn't worth it. There's too much danger on the other side of it. As Nathan and Gilderson's the newest member of NRG playing the Lobo will hold to this background, but they're gonna have to do something relatively soon, Vicky. They can't play this wall. And they want to clear G2 from behind their back because that's, of course, the team that can really play spoiler to them as they move forward. And so I wonder what NRG are going to do here. Are they going to push through for this? Are they going to wait for G2 to make a move? They will have to do something before NRG, so maybe patience is the name of the game here, and that's what Sweet's telling them.
They're going to start moving soon. I wouldn't be surprised if we see the Skyward dive, because even if they walk into this next circle, they're going to be playing off the low ground. We can expect the squad already underneath the bridge, so I think they are going to have to take the Skyward dive. Sentinel's playing on the other side of the wall, and look who has the high ground. It's got to be Team Liquid with the Rampage all charged up. Say hello to my little friend. Is Nocturnal going to back away in time? CLG get cleaned up from this lobby. 16 squads left, and expect this to be a bloodbath with the circle closing in.
Unreal. Liquid and Sentinels are fighting here. This is the fight you're looking at from above. Liquid have a full advantage, and I'm pretty sure they're going to get it down very, very soon. But over on the other side of things, NRG is also skyward dove, and they have found themselves well in front. And if you can see here from the kill feed, there are just a multitude of madness. I feel like I'm in the multiverse here and calling somebody to come assist me. You can see Liquid, none of that is paid attention to. They are just shooting down below on the Sentinels. This is what happens when you have a good position, Vicky. You just avoid all of that chaos late game of people trying to squeeze into places they don't belong.
You purposely put your squad in a position where your back is at least covered. You have that natural landform of the rock right to your back to ensure that you're not going to get sandwiched. You're going to ensure that any squad that does try to push you is also going to have their backs exposed to any of the squads that are rotating outside of Big Mod. So this is a really great position for Team Liquid to play off of, but they're not in this next circle. Let's see how they're going to force their way into this next circle, because we saw Energy take to the skies with the skyward dive. Doesn't look like they were contested looking at the kill feed and looking at all the other squads that dropped. With 7 teams left, we still got Team Liquid in the fray. We got NRG, Team Smiley, G2, Space Station, Sentinels, and FaZe left.
Well, he's been called by the CEO of Apex Legends, Imperial House, probably doing a watch party right now. The best IGL and the only one that he'd let coach his team and lead them to victory. Let's go ahead and take a listen in to what Liquid and NRG have to do in terms of their potential clash.
Hold aggressive on this! This is our problem!
They queued up into the spot.
Okay.
G2 is in here now.
There's a team. 80, 100, we need to focus this!
Okay. This.
Okay. I only have 40 bullets of energy, bro.
Okay.
I'm 30 bullets of car. We're chilling.
We have to get this.
G2's up, looking at us.
I got rid of the drone.
Nice.
G2 wasted Horizon Q,
This
bro.
is guard. They're going away. They missed their opportunity to EMP. They're going away.
G2 wasted Horizon Q. Yes.
G2.
We need to look at them. We need to look over.
Look at me now.
They're right here. They're right here.
I'm gonna ult. You ready?
Yep.
Bloodhound's at 80. Bloodhound's 80.
We don't drop. Don't drop.
Nade if you can. Nade if you can.
Don't have any.
You can angle through the slit. They're all jumping.
We have to watch the Horizon Q here.
Yep.
They're about to do it right now. I have an angle on it.
So be careful. You're gonna shot in the back.
Shot.
I'm stalling. They're gonna wait for the ult before they queue.
I'm shooting them.
Yeah. I don't have bullets to shoot them.
Okay.
I only have 70 bullets and then a charge, bro. I have a gen here. They can't ult it.
I'm queuing.
They're gonna do it in a second. that thing.
Kill it.
Shoot the blood.
Blood 50.
Nice.
How's it cracked?
Guys, it's one. They fell all the way down.
I'm on low. I'm playing low.
Drop me your spray. I need your spray gun.
Okay. Here.
I need your rampage.
I have no ammo.
I need your rampage or something.
Crypto 80. Crypto 90.
Fence this all.
I don't have any
really
bullets.
everything.
I have no bullets.
None for what?
I literally. I can switch.
Fucking fell
Here.
again. We need to get these G2 kills. We need to get these G2
yeah,
kills.
I agree.
They have to queue up again, and they don't.
Do you need bats or no?
No.
No.
Right here. Watch for this lift. They're gonna do it in a second. Lifting.
You're good. 101.
How's the flush?
100. Bang is one.
Bang, blood.
Blood one. Last guy's behind us somewhere.
I punched him down.
Play my shield.
I'm batting.
Yep.
He's gonna die low ground.
Play my. You need to walk up.
He died his own.
That's me. That's me.
You have gold res. No, you have.
They don't know he's down.
Yep.
I'm med kidding.
And would you believe it, Team Liquid take down G2. All the meanwhile, the chaos of NRG also happening where they've set up. You thought they were in a tough spot. They have found themselves in a great spot here with phase up now turning into phase down as snipe down ends up falling. Vicky, we have 2 squads left. It is NRG versus Liquid for the win.
Did Team Liquid have the opportunity to reset? I don't think they did. Now Team Liquid are playing out of the health disadvantage, and NRG take the W for game number 5 where they desperately needed it.
I had a feeling, and it ended up being right with, unfortunately, some